Before we begin, please press the like button and the subscribe button. Welcome to today's explainer. When we think about cybersecurity, our minds instantly jump to those massive, headline-making mega breaches. We picture shadowy hackers and billions of stolen records, right? But what if I told you the biggest, most persistent financial drain on your company's security isn't necessarily a sophisticated cyber attack, but literally just the everyday friction of trying to log in? Now, according to IBM's 2025 Cost of a Data Breach report, a staggering $4.4 million is the average price tag per data breach. I mean, it's a terrifying figure, and it completely dominates the conversation around credential security. But here's the secret. This highly visible threat, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies this hidden tax of daily unresolved credential issues that are just quietly and constantly bleeding company resources dry. Okay, let's dive right into this. On our agenda today, 1. The hidden credential tax. 2. Productivity and IT burnout. 3. The password reuse pipeline. And finally, 4. Fixing the security foundation. So, let's start with Section 1, the hidden credential tax, beyond the headlines. There's a pretty stark contrast in how we view security threats. On one hand, we have those rare but terrifying headline breaches, right? Incidents involving massive data theft and millions of dollars lost overnight. But on the flip side, we have everyday friction. These are the mundane, persistent drains on your business. Think constant account lockouts, endless help desk tickets, hours spent on manual access reviews, and resources that are just constantly diverted to incident response. Your business doesn't have to be on the front page of the news to take a real financial hit here. Believe it or not, these everyday incidents actually cost more over time than most leaders realize. Moving right along to Section 2, productivity and IT burnout, the butterfly effect. We've all been there, haven't we? You're rushing to finish a critical project, you go to access a system, and suddenly, boom, you're locked out. Forgotten passwords and compromised logins don't just cause a mild sigh of frustration, they bring work to a complete standstill. Employees are prevented from accessing vital systems, and tasks take significantly longer than they should while people just sit around waiting for a fix. It's an incredibly frustrating experience for the end user, for sure, but when you multiply that lost time across an entire organization, the cost is absolutely staggering. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next, the cascading IT domino effect. A single employee getting locked out might seem like a tiny drop in the bucket, but watch the dominoes fall. Suddenly, help desk staff are absolutely overwhelmed by constant password resets and account recovery requests. And because IT is tied up dealing with these low-level, repetitive issues, strategic IT projects completely stall out. Over time, high ticket volumes and that repetitive grunt work lead to severe IT staff burnout, lower job satisfaction, and ultimately, really expensive turnover. Replacing and training new staff just adds a massive layer to this hidden cost of credential problems. This quote from our source material really hits the nail on the head. Over time, IT's shifting focus from strategic projects to troubleshooting creates a pattern that impacts revenue and customer satisfaction. Basically, when you force your IT department into a purely reactive state, spending all their time putting out tiny credential fires, they spend significantly less time actually improving and innovating. And that lack of innovation, it eventually trickles down and hits the company's bottom line hard. All right, Section 3, the password reuse pipeline, fueling the fire. The root of so many recurring security problems is honestly just poor security hygiene, specifically weak or reused passwords. When an employee, maybe out of convenience or just plain frustration, uses the exact same credentials across multiple platforms, they're creating a massive, persistent vulnerability. A single exposed password on some completely unrelated third-party site can cascade into a major account takeover incident right inside your organization's network. And here is exactly how hackers exploit that very human behavior. It's called the credential stuffing playbook. Step 1, hackers obtain leaked username and password combinations from previous, unrelated data breaches. Step 2, they use automated tools to rapidly test those exact same combos against dozens of other services, including your company's login portals. And Step 3, once they get a hit and get inside, they move laterally across your systems, escalating their access and seriously increasing the risk of a devastating credential breach. It literally all starts with one reused password. And when this happens, without reliable identity and access controls in place, tracking the spread is nearly impossible. And the cleanup costs? Massive. It can take weeks just to contain the exposure. It consumes huge amounts of your IT department's time, requires really expensive legal review, and forces uncomfortable, brand-damaging customer communications. The costs skyrocket incredibly fast when basic hygiene fails. Which brings us to Section 4, fixing the security foundation, removing the friction. So the crucial point is summarized beautifully right here. Preventing breaches and reducing the cost of credential problems requires a shift in mindset to minimize the friction that slows your operations. We really need to stop viewing security merely as a heavy, restrictive defense mechanism and start using it as an opportunity to actively remove operational friction from our employees' daily lives. So how do we actually achieve that? Well, with a strong identity and access management system, or IAM. This is a foundational control system. By utilizing tools like single sign-on, where users securely log in just once to access everything they need, and multi-factor authentication, you can securely streamline the entire login process. Better password policies and consistent security hygiene practices make a highly measurable difference in reducing those everyday login issues, all while simultaneously locking down your defenses. It all comes down to a dual benefit. Solving credential issues improves both your overarching security and your everyday workplace productivity. The cost of credential problems isn't just about the worst-case scenario of a hacker stealing data. It's already affecting your daily operations through lost time, strained IT resources, and frustrating ongoing disruptions. Fixing this foundation saves that lost time and rescues those strained resources. Businesses that take a closer look find amazing opportunities to improve on both fronts. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. Are your passwords protecting your business or paralyzing it? It's a provocative question, but an absolutely necessary one to ask yourself and your IT leadership. If your current security setup is causing daily friction, employee burnout, and lost revenue, well, it's time to evaluate your foundational systems. Think about your own login experience today and take a closer look at the hidden tax your organization might be paying right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep learning.